There is a presence within you, greater than any obstacle you face, mightier than any storm you endure. This presence is not outside of you, nor is it separate from you. It is the very essence of your being. You have been conditioned to believe in struggle, in fear, in doubt. But today you are being called to release it all. Let go of the weight you have carried for too long, for it is not yours to bear. The very thing you are worried about is already resolved in the unseen. The moment you surrender your worry, you open the door for divine intervention. You do not need to struggle, to beg, or to plead. God does not require desperation, He requires trust. He does not respond to fear, He responds to faith. What you hold in your mind, you hold in your hands. And if your mind is filled with doubt, fear, and worry, you will see more of the same in your life. But if your mind is filled with trust, with certainty, with the knowing that all is well, then your world must reflect this truth. You are not placed on this earth to suffer, to be lost, to feel abandoned. You are a child of the divine, an expression of the infinite, and you have within you the power to shift everything. The same power that created the heavens and the earth moves through you now. It is waiting for you to acknowledge it, to believe in it, to rest in its certainty. The battle is not yours to fight, for the victory has already been won. So the answer exists before the question is even asked. Look around you. Every star, every wave, every blade of grass exists in perfect order. There is no chaos in creation, no randomness in divine design. If the entire universe is held together by perfect harmony, how much more are you cared for? How much more are you seen, guided, and loved? You have been taught to measure your life by what your eyes can see, but what is seen is only a reflection of what is unseen. The truth is, the moment you ask, it is given. The moment you knock, the door is open. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Every moment of your life, God has been leading you even when you could not see it. Every hardship, every delay, every closed door was guiding you towards something greater. The divine plan is unfolding even now, and it is greater than anything you have imagined. Do not be deceived by appearances. What looks like an ending is only what seems like loss is merely a passage to something better. Today, let go of the need to control, to overthink, to force things into place. Stand still and know that He is God. When you surrender, miracles begin. When you rest in faith, the path is made clear. When you believe, all things become possible. The burdens you carry are lifted, the fears that have weighed you down dissolved. The solution is already here. It is done. It is finished. Now, all you must do is trust. There is nothing in your life that is beyond the reach of God's power. Nothing too broken, nothing too lost, nothing too far gone. The mind has been trained to believe in limitations, in obstacles, in impossibilities. But God knows no such thing. What you call a problem, He calls an opportunity. What you see as a delay, He sees as perfect timing. What you feel is overwhelming is nothing in the presence of the infinite. And so today you are being called to step out of worry and into trust. The mind will tell you that if you do not worry, you are being irresponsible. That if you do not struggle, you are not trying hard enough. But what if the opposite were true? What if your very effort, your very worry is the thing standing in the way? What if the moment you surrender, you allow the floodgates of heaven to open? You are being asked to do something radical. To trust that all is well even when your senses tell you otherwise. To direct your mind and to know that all your senses, let them know where you are. If you really believe in what you cannot yet see. To hold on to the knowing that the same God who brought you this far will not abandon you now. There is a divine intelligence that orchestrates all things. It knows the way when you cannot see it. It has prepared a path when you feel lost. It has already answered before you even asked. But worry blinds you. It clutters your mind with doubt and fills your heart with fear. Worry is a thief. It steals your peace, your joy, your clarity. And yet, it changes nothing. Not once has worry solved a problem. Listen and listen in action. Not once has anxiety made a way where there was none. But trust Trust has moved mountains. Trust has parted seas. Trust has made the impossible possible. The problem is not that God is not working in your life. The problem is that you are looking in the wrong direction. You are searching with your physical eyes instead of your spiritual ones. You are measuring progress by what you can touch instead of what is already unfolding in the unseen. What you seek is already here, but you must align yourself with it. And alignment does not come through worry, it comes through faith. Have you ever noticed how effortlessly the sun rises each morning? It does not struggle, does not force its way through the darkness. It simply appears as it was designed to do. This is how your blessings will come, effortlessly, naturally, in perfect time. But only if you allow it. Only if you stop resisting. Only if you stop doubting what has already been promised to you. Everything that is happening in your life right now, even the things you do not understand, is part of a greater plan. The delays are not denials. The closed doors are not punishments. The detours are not mistakes. They are all pieces of a divine masterpiece, one that is being woven together in ways far beyond your comprehension. And when you finally see it come together, when you finally witness what God has been preparing for you all along, you will understand why you had to wait, why certain things had to fall apart, why certain people had to leave, why certain prayers seemed unanswered. But in truth, no prayer ever goes unanswered. Every word you have ever spoken, every silent cry, every whispered hope has been heard, and not only heard, but answered. The answer exists even now, but it is waiting for you to receive it. And you cannot receive with hands that are clenched in fear. You cannot receive with a heart that is burdened with doubt. You must release, you must open yourself to the truth that God is not just with you, He is within you, and within Him there is no lack, no struggle, no failure. What if you lived today as if everything you needed was already on its way? What if you spoke as if the solution was already here? What if you carried yourself with the confidence of someone who knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that their prayers had already been answered? Would you still worry? Would you still stress? Or would you walk in peace, knowing that all things are unfolding exactly as they should? There is a reason you are hearing this message today. There are no accidents in the divine order of things. God is speaking to you, calling you to a higher way of being. You have been trapped in worry for too long. You have allowed fear to take up residence in your heart for too long. But no more. Today is the day you release it. Today is the day you choose faith over fear. Do not wait for circumstances to change before you find peace. Do not wait for everything to make sense before you trust. Faith does not wait for evidence, it creates it. It does not need proof, it is the proof. And the moment you embody this faith, the moment you live in the certainty that God has already solved it, your reality will shift. What once seemed impossible will become effortless. The doors that once felt locked will swing open. The path that once seemed unclear will be illuminated. You are closer than you think. The breakthrough is not ahead of you, it is within you. The moment you stop seeking outside of yourself, the moment you stop doubting, you will see it. God has already made a way. You do not need to fight for it. You do not need to earn it. You only need to believe. And when you do, everything will change. You've been searching for answers, trying to find solutions, trying to figure out how everything will come together. But the answer has never been outside of you. The answer has been within you this entire time. God has already spoken. He has already declared victory over your life. He has already set things in motion, and nothing can stop what He has ordained for you. You do not need to chase after what is already yours. You do not need to struggle for what has already been given. The only thing required of you is belief. And belief is not just a fleeting thought. It is a deep inner knowing, an unshakable conviction that no matter what appears before you, the truth remains unchanged. The truth is that you are taken care of. The truth is that you are guided, protected, and provided for. The truth is that the same power that created the universe is within you, working through you, unfolding every detail of your life in perfect harmony. Worry is a habit, and like all habits, it can be broken. You have become so accustomed to anticipating problems, preparing for disappointments, and expecting delays that you have unknowingly conditioned yourself to live in a state of fear. But you were not created to live this way. You were not created to dwell in anxiety, to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. God never asked you to figure it all out. Churkanit came away. God never asked you to figure it all out. He never asked you to fix everything on your own. He only asked you to trust. When a child is in the arms of a loving parent, they do not worry about what will happen next. They do not question if they will be provided for. They simply rest in the certainty that they are safe. That is the kind of trust you are being called to embody. A trust that does not waver. A trust that remains steady even when the winds of life are strong. A trust that knows, without a doubt, that everything is already taken care of. Look back at your life. How many times have you thought that things were falling apart, only to realize later that they were actually falling into place? How many times have you feared the worst, only to be met with unexpected blessings? How many times have you doubted, only to later see that God had been working all along? If He did it before, He will do it again. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. His promises have not changed. His power has not diminished. His love for you has not wavered. Right now, you may not see the way forward. You may not understand how things will come together. But that is not your concern. Your concern is to align yourself with the truth. Your concern is to hold fast to faith. Your concern is to speak only what you desire to see, to think only thoughts of victory, to dwell only in the certainty that all is well. Do not let the noise of the world distract you. Do not let the opinions of others shake your confidence. Do not let temporary circumstances convince you of a false reality. What you see with your physical eyes is fleeting, but what is unseen is eternal. What is unseen is what matters most. You are standing at the threshold of transformation. Everything you have been asking for, everything you have been hoping for, is waiting for you to step into alignment with it. The moment you stop doubting, the moment you stop resisting, the moment you release the need to control, the floodgates will open. You will see with clarity what has been there all along. You will realize that you were never waiting on God. He was waiting on you. The struggle ends the moment you decide it does. The burden lifts the moment you let go. The solution appears the moment you believe it is already done. Faith is the bridge between where you are and where you desire to be. And that bridge is already built. You only need to walk across it. Every delay you have faced has served a purpose. Every challenge you have encountered has strengthened you. Every hardship you have endured has prepared you. Nothing has been wasted. Not a single tear, not a single prayer, not a single moment of uncertainty has been in vain. It has all been working together for your good. And when you finally see the full picture, when you finally understand the divine plan that has been unfolding all along, you will stand in awe of how perfectly everything has been arranged. There is no need to fear what is ahead. There is no need to worry about how things will unfold. There is no need to question whether you are worthy of receiving the blessings that have been prepared for you. You are worthy because He has made you worthy. You are chosen, you are favored, you are loved beyond measure. Let today be the day you decide to trust completely. Let today be the day you release every doubt, every fear, every hesitation. Let today be the day you stand in the fullness of faith, knowing that what you have asked for is already on its way. Not tomorrow, not someday in the distant future, but now, in this moment. Because the moment you believe, it is done. Close your eyes and breathe in this truth. Let it fill every part of you. Let it settle into your heart and take root in your soul. You are not alone. You have never been alone, and you never will be. Everything you need is already yours. Everything you desire is already unfolding, and all that is required of you is to receive. The universe is already moving in your favor. every force in existence is aligning to bring forth what has been promised to you. There has never been a delay, only preparation. There has never been denial, only divine timing. The moment you recognize this truth, the weight you have been carrying will dissolve, the worry that has gripped your mind will release its hold, and peace will take its place. AC. Then very short, you will finally understand that nothing was ever missing. Everything was always unfolding exactly as it should. You have prayed, you have asked. But have you truly received? Have you truly stepped into the knowing that what you desire is already done? Or have you been waiting, hoping, hesitating? There is a difference between wanting something and living as though it is already yours. God does not respond to desperation. He responds to faith. Faith is not begging. Faith is not pleading. Faith is the unwavering certainty that what has been spoken will come to pass. But look around you. Everything you see was once unseen. Every breakthrough you have experienced was once a prayer. Every blessing you have received was once just a thought. And yet, here you are, standing in the reality of what was once only a vision. What makes you think that the next miracle will be any different? What makes you believe that God has suddenly stopped working on your behalf? He has not stopped. He has not forgotten. He has not changed. When a farmer plants a seed, he does not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. He does not question whether it will bear fruit. He does not doubt the process. He simply trusts, waters the soil, and waits in confidence, knowing that in due time the harvest will come. That is the kind of faith you are being called to embody. A faith that does not waver, a faith that does not question, a faith that stands firm regardless of what the physical eyes can see. You were never meant to struggle. You were never meant to live in a state of fear, uncertainty, or lack. These are illusions, temporary distractions from the greater truth that resides within you. The truth is that abundance is already yours. Healing is already yours. Breakthrough is already yours. But you must accept it. You must claim it. You must stand in the fullness of faith and say, it is done. Every time you doubt, you delay. Every time you fear, you push away what is rightfully yours. Every time you focus on the problem, you strengthen it. But when you shift your focus, when you turn your attention to the certainty of God's provision, when you align yourself with the divine order of the universe, everything begins to flow effortlessly. The walls that once seemed impenetrable crumble. The barriers that once stood in your way dissolve. The doors that once seemed closed swing wide open. You have been conditioned to believe that you must strive, that you must fight, that you must struggle for what is already freely given. But what if you simply let go? What if you released every ounce of resistance and surrendered to the flow of divine grace? What if you stopped worrying altogether and stepped fully into trust? It is not your job to know how. It is not your job to figure out when. Your only responsibility is to believe, to trust so completely that there is no room for fear, to have such certainty that even in the darkest moments you stand unshaken, knowing that the light is already on its way. God is not limited by time. He is not bound by circumstances. He is not restricted by what appears impossible. What seems like a mountain to you is nothing more than a pebble in the hands of the Almighty. What seems like an obstacle to you is nothing more than an illusion waiting to dissolve. But you must allow it. You must step out of the way and let divine order take over. Worry is an act of distrust. It is a sign that you have not fully surrendered. And yet surrender is the key. Surrender is not giving up, it is rising above. It is choosing to release the burden and allow the highest power to work on your behalf. It is standing in stillness, not because you are powerless, but because you know that the greatest power in existence is already moving through you. The moment you stop resisting, everything will shift. The answers you have been seeking will appear effortlessly. The solutions you have been searching for will present themselves without struggle. The opportunities you have been waiting for will come knocking at your door. Because it was never about effort. It was never about force. It was always about alignment. When you align yourself with truth, the world around you must conform. When you align yourself with faith, reality has no choice but to mirror that faith. When you align yourself with divine timing, everything falls into place with precision, ease, and perfection. You do not need to chase, you do not need to beg, you only need to receive. And receiving is not passive, it is an active choice. It is the choice to trust when everything in you wants to doubt. It is the choice to believe when the world tells you otherwise. It is the choice to stand firm in faith, knowing that what has been promised is already yours. The noise of the world will try to distract you. The doubts in your mind will try to shake you. The circumstances before you will try to convince you that nothing is changing. But that is only a test. That is only a temporary illusion designed to strengthen your resolve. Do not waver. Do not give in to fear. Hold your ground and know that everything is working. This is not the time to question. This is not the time to hesitate. This is the time to step fully into faith. To declare with absolute certainty that all things are being made right. To move forward with the confidence that the way is already prepared. To live as though you have already received, because in truth you have. The moment you truly believe is the moment everything changes. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Because faith does not operate in time, it operates in the eternal now. The moment you decide that you are free, you are free. The moment you decide that you are healed, you are healed. The moment you decide that your breakthrough has come, it has already arrived. You have spent enough time worrying. You have spent enough time doubting. You have spent enough time waiting. Now is the time to step fully into trust. Now is the time to release every fear, every hesitation, every ounce of resistance. Now is the time to stand in the absolute knowing that God has already made a way. Breathe in the truth of these words. Let them settle deep within your spirit. Let them dissolve every lingering doubt. Let them replace every fear with certainty. You are safe. You are loved. You are provided for. And everything you have been asking for, everything you have been seeking, is already on its way. Not because of what you have done, not because of how hard you have tried, but because you are a child of God, and He has already declared it to be so. It is finished. It is done. And now all that remains is for you to receive. The power that created the heavens and the earth is the same power that flows through you now. It has never left you. It has never been distant. It has never withheld anything from you. But you have been taught to look outside of yourself, to search for solutions in the world, to believe that your answer lies somewhere beyond your reach. That is the great illusion. The truth is, everything you seek is already within you. That every solution, every breakthrough, every blessing, it is already yours. But you must awaken to this knowing. You must stop waiting, stop doubting, stop believing that you are separate from the divine source that sustains all things. When you pray, do you pray from a place of lack or from a place of certainty? Do you beg for what is already yours, or do you give thanks, knowing that it has already been granted? This is the difference between faith and fear. Fear prays as if God is far away. Fear prays as if there is uncertainty in the outcome. But faith prays with gratitude. Faith does not ask, it claims. Faith does not wonder, it knows. And the moment you shift from hoping to knowing, everything changes. You were never meant to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You were never meant to live in anxiety, stress, or fear. These things are not of God. These things are not your natural state. Your natural state is peace. Your natural state is joy. Your natural state is complete and total trust. And when you return to this state, the entire universe bends to meet you where you stand. Doors open effortlessly. Opportunities arise where before there were none. Solutions present themselves without struggle. Because the moment you align with divine truth, the entire fabric of reality must shift to reflect that truth. You have spent so much time trying to control, trying to fix, trying to make things happen. And yet, you have not realized that the very act of trying is resistance. The moment you release, the moment you surrender, the moment you let go of the need to figure everything out, you will see that it was never your burden to carry in the first place. God does not need your struggle. He does not need your effort. He simply needs your trust. Look at the birds of the air. They do not worry about where their next meal will come from, and yet they are fed. Look at the lilies of the field. They do not toil, and yet they bloom in perfect beauty. If God so perfectly provides for them, how much more will He provide for you? You who are made in His image. You who are His beloved creation. You who are already held in His hands. Amen. But still you worry. Still you fear, still you believe that you must take matters into your own hands, as if the one who created all things is not capable of guiding your steps. And yet each time you let go, each time you release your grip, each time you surrender the illusion of control, you find that life moves with perfect ease, that the answers come, that the solutions appear, that the weight lifts, that at last remonstrates. You were not meant to live in a state of waiting. You were meant to live in a state of receiving. And receiving does not require effort. It requires faith. It requires you to stop questioning, stop hesitating, stop wondering whether or not God is working on your behalf. Because He is. He always has been. He always will be. The only thing standing in your way is your own resistance. The moment you release it, everything will flow. The moment you stop doubting, everything will unfold. The moment you trust completely, you will see that the very thing you have been seeking has been seeking you all along. It has been waiting for you to align with it, to step into the certainty of existence, to claim it as already done. There is no delay in the kingdom of God. There is no hesitation. There is no lack. These are illusions of the human mind, distractions that pull you away from the deeper truth that you are already whole, already provided for, already held in the perfect love of God. And the moment you wake up to this truth, the moment you embody it fully, the world around you will shift in ways you never thought possible. You do not need to understand how, you do not need to see the full picture, you only need to trust. And trust is not something that wavers. Trust is not something that changes with circumstance. True trust remains unshaken, even when the world gives every reason to doubt. True trust stands firm, even in the face of uncertainty. True trust knows that beyond every obstacle, there is a greater plan unfolding, a plan that is already set in motion, a plan that cannot fail. God is not waiting to bless you. He has already blessed you. God is not withholding your breakthrough, it is already done. God is not testing you to see if you are worthy, you are already chosen. The only thing left for you to do is believe it, to step fully into this knowing, to release every last bit of doubt and step into the certainty that all is well, that all has been taken care of, that all is unfolding exactly as it should. Every time you worry, remind yourself that worry is a choice. Every time you doubt, remind yourself that doubt is an illusion. Every time you feel fear creeping in, remind yourself that fear is nothing more than a false story your mind has created. And in that moment, choose faith instead. Choose to trust. Choose to believe. Choose to know with every fiber of your being that God has already made a way. There are no accidents in your life. There are no mistakes. Everything that has happened, everything that is happening, everything that will happen, it is all part of a divine design, a perfect orchestration that is leading you exactly where you need to be. And when you stop fighting it, when you stop resisting it, when you stop trying to force things to happen on your own, you will see that everything is already in motion. Everything is already flowing. Everything is already done. It is time to step out of the struggle. It is time to step out of the fear. It is time to step fully into the knowing that you are already held, already loved, already taken care of. It is time to stop looking for signs. Stop asking for reassurance. Stop questioning whether or not God is working in your life. He is. He always has been. He He always will be. And the moment you stop questioning, the moment you stop doubting, the moment you stop hesitating and simply trust, you will see that everything you have been waiting for has been waiting for you. You do not need to earn your blessing. You do not need to prove yourself worthy. You do not need to struggle for what has already been freely given. You only need to receive it. And receiving is not about effort, it is about surrender. It is about releasing every last ounce of fear, every last drop of doubt, every last trace of resistance, and stepping fully into the knowing that it is already done. Okay. Everything is working out for you. Every detail is being arranged in your favor. Every challenge is preparing you for the blessing that is already on its way. And when you truly understand this, when you truly embody this, when you truly stand in the fullness of faith without wavering, you will see that God has already solved it, that every prayer has already been answered, that every need has already been met, that everything you have ever desired has already been given. Now the only thing left is for you to trust, to believe, to step into the certainty that you are already taken care of, to let go of every doubt, every fear, every hesitation, and finally rest in the truth that it is done, that it has always been done, that it will always be done. And the moment you do, you will see that the very thing you were searching for was never far away. It was never out of reach. So it was always here, it was always yours, it was always waiting for you to simply believe. So now stand firm in your faith, release every burden, every doubt, every fear. You are not forgotten, you are not abandoned, and you are not alone. God has already gone before you, preparing the way, aligning every detail, orchestrating every moment for your highest good. You do not need to struggle, you do not need to figure it all out. You simply need to trust. Trust that the answer is already within you, and trust that the solution is already unfolding. Trust that God has already solved it. And as you walk forward with this knowing, as you let go and surrender fully, you will see miracles unfold before your very eyes. You will see doors open that no man can shut. You will see blessings chase you down, and you will finally understand that all along, everything was working together for your good. It is done. It has always been done. Now simply believe.